Imagine you're driving to the most important meeting of your life. Your GPS is on, you're following the route perfectly, everything feels right. There's just one problem. You typed in the wrong address. So here's my question for you. Does it matter how confident you feel, how smoothly you're driving, or how committed you are to the journey if you're headed to the wrong destination? Welcome to this week's CARE podcast. I'm your host, Bob Herb, and today we're talking about one of the most dangerous traps in leadership and in life. The illusion that momentum equals progress. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't to keep going. It's to stop, reassess, and change direction. Ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said something over 2,500 years ago that hits different in today's world. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. Now read that again slowly. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. It sounds simple, almost obvious, right? But that's the genius of it. Lao Tzu is telling us that our current path isn't neutral. It's taking us somewhere specific. Whether you've consciously chosen that destination or not, that's what will happen. Think about it in your own life right now. That career path you're on, it's taking you somewhere specific. The question is, where? That relationship dynamic you're settled into, it's creating a future. Is it the future you want? Those work habits you have, they're creating a pattern for life. Is it the one that you want? Here's what I've learned working with leaders, athletes, students, and change makers. Most people don't fail because they made the wrong decision. They fail because they never actually made a decision at all. They just kept drifting on autopilot, assuming since they were still moving, they were being productive. Let me share a story with you. I once worked with a high school baseball team that was grinding harder than any team I'd ever seen. Extra batting practice every day, additional conditioning, total commitment. But they kept losing close games. When we finally stopped as a group to analyze what was happening, we discovered that they spent around 80% of their practice time on trying to hit for power. They loved seeing the ball go over the fence, fly out of the yard at practice. Meanwhile, their on-base percentage was not great. They didn't work enough on situational hitting, even though that was one of the key components of their practices. They didn't like to advance runners. It wasn't the cool thing. They weren't failing from lack of effort. They were failing because they never stopped to see if they were gearing that effort in the right direction. That's where great leaders come in. Great leaders, whether they're coaches, mentors, managers, or friends, help people see what they can't see themselves. They let you see that GPS is taking you to the wrong place. They don't judge, they help. They help you course correct. So here's your first challenge today, and I want you to do this before the episode ends. Think about one area of your life where you've been on autopilot. Maybe it's your career, your health, a relationship, or a personal goal you set years ago and never revisited. Now, ask yourself also Sue's question. The question is, if I don't change direction, where am I actually heading? Now, is it where you hope to end? Not where you tell yourself you're going to. Where does your current path, your current habits, your current choices actually lead? Be honest. Write it down if you need to, because you can't change direction until you admit where you're currently heading. Now, let's go deeper, because here's what people get wrong about this quote. They think it's telling them to change direction constantly, to chase every shiny object, to never commit to anything. That's not it at all. Lao Tzu isn't saying change is always good. He's saying awareness is essential. You need to know where you're going so you can decide intentionally whether that's where you want to be. Sometimes the analytics tell you to pivot. Sometimes life throws a curveball. Sometimes You get a calling, a gut feeling that says, this isn't it anymore. And sometimes a mentor or leader helps you see your blind spots. But here's the magic. Once you're aware, once you truly see where you're heading, you get to choose. You can say, you know what? I'm exactly where I need to be. This is my direction. Or you can say, hey, it's time to change. Both are powerful. Both require courage. The only wrong answer is staying blind to where you're headed. I've seen organizations turn around because one single person had the courage to say, our strategy isn't working. I've seen athletes transform their careers because a coach helped them see they were training for the wrong race. I've seen students change majors their junior year and end up more successful than if they stayed stubbornly to finish the wrong degree. The common thread here? They all stopped pretending momentum was the same as meaning. They got their real direction. So here's your final call to action, and this is where the real work begins. First, identify one specific area you need to change direction in. Not 5, but 1. Be specific. Second, find your GPS recalibration. Maybe it's data you need to look at honestly. Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's seeking out a mentor or a coach who can see what you can't see right now. Third, make one decision this week that aligns with your true destination, not your current trajectory. One meeting, one boundary, one new habit, one brave conversation. Because here's the truth. A year from now, you'll either be exactly where your current path is taking you, or you'll be somewhere you actually choose to go. The only difference is whether you decide to change direction. Remember, Lao Tzu's wisdom, if you do not change direction, you may end up where you're heading. So be sure to ask yourself, where are you heading? And is that where you want to be? Thanks for tuning in to this week's Care Podcast. If this message hit home for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who may need to take a look at the path they're currently on. Leave a comment about what direction you're choosing to change or stay on. Until next time, keep leading with purpose. Keep caring about the journey, and never be afraid to recalibrate your GPS. This is Bob Herb signing off. We'll see you next time.